Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to Cm42TV. Tonight we're going to talk about a very recent film, which is interesting right now because I don't really do that anymore. I started a wee series at the start of the year called Cinema Club, and I kind of wanted to talk about all the films I would go to see in the cinema because I'm a big cinema goer, you know. I find it difficult talking about films that are recent. I find it hard to talk about films I see in the cinema. Now, the reason for that is I can't really work it out, but what I've gathered is, my only assumption from that is that I've only seen the film once. You know, it's fresh in my mind, and it's like I don't really have too many opinions on it other than the fact that I've just seen it, it was good, you know, whatever. You know, when you watch films numerous times and you know all about the actors, you know all about the film making, you know all about the directing and all that nonsense, it's easier to talk about. And I find it really difficult, right, if you really, really like a film, to talk about it because you really love it. It's hard to put into words because you just love it so much. It's easy to talk about a film you don't like, but I'm a very positive person. I'm known as quite a big optimist, so it's like I don't dislike many films. You know, I can find the qualities in a bad film. The worst film I saw this year was Tomb Raider, which really wasn't that bad. The Shape of Water, I really, really, really didn't like that film. But, you know, I can still find some good things in it. You know, it's well made and, you know, it's well acted and that sort of thing. But I don't like it, you know. But it's like, what did I say in that video? So that brings me on to this video, and I find this one quite easy to talk about because there's different dimensions and there's different aspects of the experience that I want to bring up. A little while ago, I did a video talking about A Quiet Place, one of my favourite films of the year. You know, it's starring and directed by John Krasinski, who I really like, and Emily Blunt's in it, who I also really like, and it was just a good film, good experience in the cinema and stuff, but because of the nature of the film, it was very tense, and it was very quiet, and it was very, you really had to pay attention and be invested in the film to get the full experience. And I was trying to do that, but I kept getting distracted by people because it was such an eerie film and an atmospheric film that anything that anybody else was doing was putting me off, you know, rustling with papers or talking even, or answering the phone, which it was a wee rant I went on. I don't really go on rants, but if you want to see me rant, check out that video. It was a few months ago, back in like May or something. But this experience was a little bit different, but it was also very similar because it was a horror film. Now, I'm not a very big horror movie guy, right? I made a video that nobody watched a little while ago. It was a sort of trial run of a 24-hour movie marathon. It was called Horror Movie Month, and throughout the month of October of 2017, I just watched loads of scary films. And I thought this is like, and I sort of logged them all and made like a diary video of them all. And I was thinking this is what it would be like to do a 24-hour movie marathon, putting all the wee clips together. And nobody watched it. It was like an hour long, and it still got like very little views. And I don't mind that, but it's just like, it took me ages to make and stuff, and I was like, what's the point? But anyway, I'm not a big horror movie guy, but I kind of liked the wee clips I did in that video, so I split them up and uploaded some of them separately. Like I did the Shining one, I recently uploaded my opinion on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho. When people say that horror is like their favourite genre, now I'm not one to judge, but you're a dafty if that's your thing, because that's nonsense. Why would that be your favourite genre? I'm assuming it's because you like being scared, or you know, you like the adrenaline, or you like the atmosphere, you like the tension, you know, you like being on edge or whatever. I just don't get it. I don't feel the need to be scared. I don't feel the need to, that adrenaline, I can find other ways. I don't need to be scared in order to get that feeling. And I don't like it either. It's not like, you know, you watch a horror film, I'm just getting scared all the time and it's great. It's not, I don't know, it's just not my thing, right? And I understand people are different and they have different tastes and stuff, but it's just not my thing. You know, I don't particularly like horror films. And I don't even think they're well made, well acted. You know, The Shining is very well made and well acted. You know, Psycho is very well made and well acted. But you know, they're like the top of the leaderboard in terms of horror films. You get so many B-movie, you know, horror films. People still love them. They'll still buy them and rake them in. And you know, I'll go see it in the cinema because it's a silly horror film. But why would you do that? It's daft to me. Halloween comes out. We're 5 minutes in, I've not even mentioned the fucking title of the film. Halloween is what we're going to talk about. And Halloween obviously is known as one of the biggest horror scary movie franchises ever. Rightfully so, because it's such an iconic, you know, film and an iconic character, theme song, story, that sort of thing. So fine, I get it. So the original film was made in 1978 and it's very 70s. You know, I watched it recently and I had never seen it before, so I was thinking, right, I might as well, the new one's coming out, I'll check it out. And it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think it's like her first film or something, and it's fine, you know, it's your typical, you know, late 70s, early 80s horror film, you know, it's nothing special, it's nothing bad, it's fine. You know, you can watch it whenever. I'm sure people enjoy watching every Halloween, but it gets this like cult following. Like everybody loves Halloween, and fine. That's, you know, I love Star Wars. I love whatever. You know, I have that. That's the thing I follow religiously, and I'm assuming Halloween and other horror films people follow religiously, and that's fine. Each to their own. I went to see the new one, and coming from a guy who doesn't like scary films, doesn't like horror films, I really enjoyed the new film. I really, really liked it. I just thought it was the fact I knew about the first one. You know, I was glad I watched it because a lot of things sort of were like homages back to the first one, like when the main, I can't remember their names, it was their night when Alison, I think her name is like doing her schoolwork and she looks out the window, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character standing there just like the first film where she looks out and it's Michael Myers that's there. I thought the kills in this film was really good, the new film. I thought the kills were really good. You know, they looked cool, you know, they were tense, you know, you were really on edge, and, you know, things like that are different. Like A Quiet Place horror is better than sort of silly gore horror, because A Quiet Place horror is you're tense and you can feel it, and you're oh my god, that's what you love about a film. It's not you're getting scared and it's so funny. It's different. It's like tense and you're into it and you're on the edge of your seat and you know, that's the sort of scary film that I like, you know. And a lot of that was in this film, the kills and stuff that Michael Myers do to the poor, you know, victims in this film. So they were good, and they were well done in this film. It's 2018, you know, things are better now, you know, when they're in the sort of the gas station toilet, and he's banging the guy who looks like Edge, he's banging his head off the wall and stuff. It looked really cool, you know. So, but then we get to the scary parts, I guess, and it wasn't too scary. It wasn't like a really terrifying film. The scariest film I've ever seen is The Shining. I still say to this day, I think that's the scariest film ever. I've not seen loads of them, but for me, for my money, I didn't pay for it, but for my money, The Shining is the scariest film I've ever seen. So that sort of thing like freaks me out the most. Things like jump scares and deaths and lots of blood and stuff doesn't really scare me. So the main crux of this video that I want to kind of touch on is another, not a rant, but a just comment and a question to moviegoers who like to go to the cinemas. When you go and see a scary film, you know, is that the same experience as going to see a comedy, or going to see an action film, or a family film, or an animated film or something? I believe it should be. I believe when you go to the cinema, there's rules, and you go to the cinema and there's a way you conduct yourself where you can talk during the trailers, you can talk through the adverts, you can find your seats and rustle your papers and go to the toilet before the film and stuff. But when the lights go down and the thing at the start comes up, it tells you the title of the film, the rating, what to expect, and for the next 2 hours or so, you are 100% on the screen. Forget about your problems, forget about your phone, forget about your mates, whoever. You're watching the film, and that's why I love the cinema. We did a podcast about it earlier this year. Why do we still go to the cinema? For that reason, to get glued and get you know, absolutely hooked on the film you're watching. You know, that's the experience. Anybody can put on Netflix and can watch the film in the house and have a laugh with your mates and stuff. But when you go to the cinema, you're 100% on the screen. You are taking in the film, right? You've paid for it. It's the least you can do to support the film, to respect other people, and to get the enjoyment and the experience to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You've paid the money, you've made the effort to go, right? So, I understand scary films can be, you know, funny to go to and stuff, and you can be like, so my situation for this one occasion, I was with my mates as usual, and sitting behind us was 2 ladies, late 20s, I'm going to assume. And they're just like, they're obviously, you know, they've had a drink or whatever, and they're obviously, you know, going to see the scary film, and it's going to be fun. We're going to go catch up and we'll go see Halloween. It's going to be great. And the whole film, I don't know how long the film is. I'm going to assume 1 hour 40. That's what it felt like that. The whole duration of the film, they're just like boom, 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 during the quiet bits, during the loud bits, during the explosions, during the kills, during the tense moments, during the conversations, during the parts in the school, during the parts in the house, during the parts of in the car, during the parts of the police station, during the parts at the petrol station, just chatter the whole time. And, you know, at least they're whispering sometimes. But I guess people don't understand. Maybe they don't go to the cinema very often. And you don't understand that when someone whispers in the cinema, you can hear it more than anything else, right? And it was fine at first. I was like, oh, let's just having a laugh. It's a scary film. But when it goes for the whole film, and it becomes, you know, they're ruining it for other people. I'm not one to you know, moan about these things, right? Because they have paid their money just like I have. You know, they have made the effort. They've got their seats just like I have. They have every right to do what they want. But in my opinion, when you're in the cinema, you're there for a certain reason. and it's not to have a chat. It's to take in the film you're watching. It's to learn. Maybe it's me because I'm in the industry, I guess, and I'm an actor, and I've made films before, and I feel like I can do homework, you know, essentially at the cinema, because I can watch and I can learn from actors, I can learn from filmmakers and stuff, and I can take in the film, and I'm having these moments, you know, some of the highlights of the year is happening, you know, and it's just ruined by other people. Now, I wasn't so angry the fact it was affecting me, right? But it's affecting other people. You can see them, you know, turning around and stuff, and my mates were getting annoyed as well, and I hate it when they don't enjoy things. And it's just like, man, fine, ruin my day, but when you start ruining other people's day, like, you're dead to me. You have no right being in that cinema, because it's like, what are you doing? You owe it to yourself, you're ruining it for yourself, you're ruining it for other people, and essentially you're ruining it for the film, because these people aren't going to have a great experience, and their opinions on the film is going to get lowered because of this terrible experience. And you could see other people getting annoyed, and that was annoying me the most. And what do you do in that situation? What do you do? Do you stand up and make a scene? Do you stand up and shout, and then you look like the idiot, you look like the wanker, so to speak? So what I thought, and what I did at the time, is just keep looking at them and keep glaring, and maybe they'd get the hint. But they didn't really notice me, I guess, because I was the row in front. Until, like, the very last scene, and I was just looking at her for ages. I was so angry. I was just, like, looking at her, just staring a hole through one of the girls. And eventually she caught my eye, or I caught her eye. And she kind of made a face, like, what are you looking at, sort of thing. And then I just kind of did the whole face plant thing, like, maybe this will be a, you know, a physical way of showing I hate you. And that was the end of the film. I should have done this feckin' earlier, but I was, but she never feckin' noticed. But then, you know, as they're leaving and stuff, they're looking up at us, and as if like I was the one in the wrong for glaring at them during the film, you know. I was the creepy one looking at the girls during the film, because is what I was doing, because that's what I was focused on. Ruined the experience, ruined the film for me in a way. I feel like, because I really did enjoy it, and I don't like scary films. The fact I really liked it, you know, and the fact that this person annoyed me during it, I probably would have really, really, really loved it if this person wasn't there. So I hate you, whoever you are. I don't hate people. I don't really hate things, you know. Hate is such a strong word, and I don't use it often. But you, my friend, I don't even know you, but I hate you. And you ruined Halloween 2018 for me. So there we go. That's my little rant. My question to you as an audience, if you're a movie goer like me, or if you're a casual cinema goer, like, why do you feel like you can have a conversation and ruin it for other people? Why would you ruin the film for yourself? Why would you ruin this great experience for yourself when you've paid money and you've made the effort to go? I don't know. So I get it during the Avengers when there's explosions everywhere, but like A Quiet Place and Halloween, and obviously, right, okay, there's a theme here, right? It's scary films, and I get that's like the ones you get nervous and excited, and they're really funny, but it's just not on, is it? It's just not very nice, and it's just a pain in the ass. That's it. Right, there we go, rant over. I really enjoyed the film. On a serious note, I really enjoyed the film. It was great. It's not going to make the top 10, but it was good. And in terms of like horror films and stuff, it's right up there in terms of ones I can tolerate. So good. I actually preferred it to the first one because it's more my age, I guess. So cool. There's Halloween. Go see it. Recommend it. And try and go during the day when there'll be less people there, so you can watch it on your own and enjoy it. So I wouldn't normally say that. I like being in a packed cinema where there's an atmosphere. But like when I saw It, for example, in 2017, I was right up the back, and like I really didn't like that film either. But like, you know, other people weren't really annoying me as much because I was up the back. I guess maybe it was my seats. Maybe in the future I'll book for horror films, go up the back. Maybe that's the thing, but I don't know. But anyway, there you go, Halloween 2018 film discussion. Thank you very much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at Cm42TV, and you get my podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, Podbean, and now Spotify for your viewing pleasure and your listening pleasure. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, please don't ruin the cinema for people, or you'll be on my hate list. Until next time, folks, thanks for watching, and Hacknish!